you got to use produce in multiple applications.
Absolutely.
And we have two great-looking people on stage, and we brought all your family here today. Thanks for coming, all the cousins and everybody. You ready to take it away?
I'm ready.
I'm going to go back there and I'm going to videotape you.
Excellent.
Round of applause for Foster and Katie. Boom.
Yay!
How's everybody doing out there today?
Yay!
Excellent. We are so excited to be here today because, Katie, what are we doing?
We're going to talk about squash.
Now, when I think about squash, I either think about roasting it, I think about all that autumnalness, but you're kind of talking to me about how it can be a little bit different, a little bit fresher.
Absolutely. You know, when I associate squash with something, it's usually fall, right? Comfort food, you know, the really rich flavors, kind of sometimes sweet, usually roasted or mashed. But today, I'd like to talk about freshening it up, maybe doing something different with it.
Fantastic. Who out there is using acorn squash and getting ready to do some really cool autumn dishes? Excellent, sir. Very excited. I'm going to do a little yin and yang with Katie today. So today we're going to do kind of the old school harvesty, very deliciousness, at least that I think it's a little bit better. And Katie, there's so many people who are looking for a little bit of a healthier choice. And
Sure.
you're going to show us how that's done?
Absolutely.
Spectacular.
We're going to have a good time.
First, we're going to start with this. My dish, one of my favorite, is to do a hot pan and a little bit of whole butter.
Sounds good to me.
So far, I think it's a good start. Very autumnal.
Ooh. Smells good already.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
And we're going to do a little bit of brown butter.
Nice.
Are you familiar?
Tell us about brown butter.
Brown butter is when we take a nice whole butter and do a little bit of caramelization. So you can see, hopefully in the can here,
Ooh.
a little bit of that browning that I just dumped on the...
It's wafting.
It's
Smells
wafting a
great.
little bit.
Yes.
And then we're going to add some beautiful mushrooms.
Oh. Well, those look great.
Thank you. Some chopped onions. And we're going to kind of make a farro risotto.
Oh,
So has
nice.
everybody heard of risotto before? Well, this is a little bit different. This is, again, another ancient grain. Got a little more texture, not quite as sticky. And just a wonderful grain to add a nice flavor. Also great in salads. And a way to just add a nice bit of protein to kind of not necessarily, have to have that big starchy mouthful.
Absolutely. You know, Foster, it's smelling really good so far. I feel like I'm just totally downwind of it. It smells wonderful.
Well, instead of just doing, like a little risotto, onions and mushrooms, we're
Sure.
going to kind of turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to do actually some red pepper flakes.
Ooh. Spice it up.
Give it a little bit of heat. We're going to add our garlic. And then what we're going to do is something a little more fun. We're going to add a little bit of maple syrup.
Oh, nice.
Because when you think fall, you definitely think maple syrup. Now, so far, we really haven't seen any squash, have we?
No,
Am I
not
getting
yet.
you?
No, it's great.
I
I
think
can't
it's
see anything.
fantastic.
It looks great, though.
A little bit of heavy cream again, really feeling that warmth, really feeling that super healthy.
I'm
not
feeling
so
pretty
much.
healthy looking at it.
I think it looks pretty healthy. And then we're going to add this delicious farro to the inside of the pan.
Wonderful.
Now, you might be saying to yourself, where is this squash? That's an excellent question.
Where is it?
Were you wondering that?
This is not a risotto demo.
I was kind of wondering that too. Yeah, we don't need to demo that. I think we're probably okay there. I want to steal just a little bit of salt from you here. Just the right amount. And now it's time for that squash. What we've done is we've taken the acorn squash and actually cut it in half. And then what we're going to do is actually stuff that. Giving it actually the vessel so it looks really rustic, really autumnal, and very simple. Something you could do definitely on a larger scale, fine dining restaurant. It has all kinds of applications, but trendy because it has that really rustic feel.
People love rustic.
Are we seeing that a little bit more, that rusticness?
I am.
I am.
I am. I'm seeing a lot with squash lately, so I'm really excited to see and taste this.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do is take a little bit of that farro here in the bottom, just so we can let that rest, and so that the acorn doesn't move very much.
Ooh, nice.
Then we're going to fill our squash, having a little bit come off. And then what we'll do for a quick garnish is we're going to take some little microgreens, a little bit of micro basil, just over the top there.
Lovely.
And then we're going to do some toasted pepitas
Ooh.
or pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds.
I think that's...
Very fall.
Now again, that's squash to me.
Man, that's
What
some
do you all
good looking
think?
squash, Foster.
Am I doing some decent squash there for everybody?
I think that looks good. 100%. I'd eat that.
But now, Katie, would you say that it's pretty good looking?
It is good looking. It is quite possibly gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
That was terrible in practice, and it did not get better with age.
It just
ladies and
keeps
gentlemen.
getting worse.
It did not get better.
Kitty laughs. I appreciate it.
Now, Katie,
Yes, Foster.
talk to me about squash. They're kind of all the same.
No, actually, that is a common misconception.
Well,
Now-
educate me.
Okay, so let's take your acorn squash, for instance, okay? Did you know that's directly related to summer squash?
I did not know that.
Yes, absolutely. And it's commonly mistaken for a gourd, which is pretty sad because gourds are really underutilized, or not utilized at all, really. Today I'm going to be working with butternut squash, probably the most common fall-winter squash out there. And that has a really nice, nutty, almost pumpkin-like flavor, which is really nice. I also believe pumpkins are very underutilized too. Don't get me started on that.
Fantastic, Katie.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Now, as a produce specialist with U.S. Foods, what exactly do you do?
I have the coolest job in the world. So,
I would testify that I have the coolest job.
all right, right below your coolest job.
Okay, good. Fair
I
enough.
get to
I'll
go
take
out
that.
and visit our lovely customers and basically geek out about produce with everybody. I like to find really great options for your restaurant and menu ideas, and I usually come in with pretty sweet samples. So I gotta say, it's really nice going out and getting to know our customers like that, finding good solutions.
So what do you got going on today?
Let me tell you what I got going on. So of course, being the produce specialist, I gotta sling some salads. So today, I'm going to be making a raw, ribbon cut butternut squash salad on top of our baby kale trio.
Now, I just want to understand that you're actually going to do it raw. We're not going to cook it or blanch it or anything.
Correct.
'Cause
Yes.
I think sometimes the misconception is when we're using squash, we have to cook it.
No, very common misconception. I feel if you're going to use squash in a raw application, it should be thin, right? You don't want to overpower anything with like an earthy, nutty flavor. So it's going to be thin enough to keep the crispiness of it and hold the integrity, but also give some of that nice squash flavor.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, kind of
let's
show
get
us what you
started.
got going on.
All right, so I have a couple things I'm going to demo today. So, being from Colorado, I like my granola. So, I'm going to demo a pumpkin granola really quickly that is going to go on top of our salad as the crunch. So, I have the components over here. We're going to use our rolled oats right in there like that. Some chopped pecans, or any nut of your choice, really. You could use pepitas, you can use walnuts, anything you want. And in addition to the oats, you can also do quinoa, which is really fun too. But today we're just sticking with oats.
Fantastic. Now, making your own granola, I know sometimes sounds like a lot of work.
But it's fun. It's
It is
not
fun.
a lot of work. It's not a lot of work if you have everything together, what we all call mise en place. So if you have all your ingredients together, super easy, super fun. So, holding true to fall, we're doing pumpkin and we're doing dark maple syrup. So, we're gonna throw everything in the bowl here.
And what else can we do with this granola, Katie? I mean, it's not just for breakfast, obviously. We're using it on a salad.
Exactly, absolutely. So I feel like any type of granola you could tailor to what your dish is. You could even put granola on top of your faro risotto. Fancy
And
pants.
I don't know if I necessarily want to change that up. What about on my pumpkin spice latte ice cream?
Oh, let's talk about that.
I think that might be a really good way. So maybe some cool desserts. You know, shakes are very popular now as well. Doing incredible shakes and also Sunday mashups.
Ooh.
One of the best things that you can possibly do.
That sounds pretty wonderful.
It
So
is.
we'll just mix everything together and we'll bake it for about 20 minutes at 300 degrees. Cool it down and you could use it in any application that you want.
And through the magic of television, we already have that done.
Whoa, we have it all completed for you. And you guys are consuming it right now. So let's skip ahead. Thank you very much. Let's skip ahead to the salad. So we're going to use our baby kale trio. So who here is familiar with our baby kale trio? Yes? Absolutely. It's a really wonderful mix. We have a lot of really nice salad blends. So this one in particular kind of screams fall to me.
Well, absolutely. And I think, has anybody used a savory blend before? Did you like it? Excellent. You know, some of the great things about using a savory blend is not only can you cook it, it gives you a little bit more shelf life, has some better nutrition to it as well. Now, one of the things I noticed, Katie, is that you did not dress this salad.
Correct. So another reason I like going and visiting our customers is finding good time-saving solutions. So this salad in particular is a great example of that. So let me tell you what I did, Foster, all right?
Please.
Oh, get ready. So I have our ribbon cut butternut squash, and I actually dressed that with a really nice roasted shallot and sage vinaigrette. So I'm thinking on the pantry line, you could have that already done, already just to go, put it on top of the salad at the last minute.
Really like a pickled vegetable. It's already done,
Almost.
so I could just use it and just kind of garnish with it or even go right with it on a couple of different applications.
Absolutely,
Fantastic.
absolutely. Yeah, it's all about ease and preparation because we all know we're extremely busy and sometimes we just don't have time for that. So, have the baby kale trio down here. Then I will just top it with our butternut squash.
Those are
like
some
that.
beautiful ribbons. How did you make those
Thank
ribbons?
you. Let me tell you, it was very therapeutic. I used a peeler. So basically, you peel the entire squash. Then you just keep peeling, right? You make your pile. You put it in, whatever container you need. Then when you get to a point where you can't peel anymore, basically cut it up, and then you could use it for your soups, freeze it up, and use it for any other application that you want. It's pretty great.
And can you all see? I think we'll show on the camera here about how thin this actually is. It's got
Very
some
thin.
really nice texture to it, kind of like a nice noodle.
Yep.
But really thin and easy, so it's going to marinate really quickly.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Absolutely.
hey, Foster, it's like ginger.
It's
I'm over
gin-
here. It's like ginger.
Where are you? Where'd you go?
Right here.
hey.
It's like the voice
I'm
of
here if
God
anybody
spoke
has
to
a
me.
question from any of your family members.
Do you have any questions so far?
Let's see. Where's
looking
Ethan? Ethan's right here.
Oh,
Foster's son. Now you get to ask your dad a question on stage. You can ask any question you want.
Do you love me?
I do love you.
Good job. Foster loves his son. That's great. Give him a round of applause for that, huh?
yes. Good questions from the audience.
Good questions from that audience.
All right, so we will wrap this salad up with a little bit of our granola that I've mixed with some dried cherries. So I think this salad is super cool because you could really tailor it to what you have in the kitchen, which I love. Also, I would highly recommend doing a seasonal berry. I know blueberries are not seasonal for fall. However, we have some gorgeous blueberries here that I just didn't want to pass up.
How could you?
I mean, you can't. It's wonderful. So you have to enjoy them when they're in
One
season.
of the things that I've noticed too, it's very autumnal, is using those sun-dried fruits just to give it that little bit of sweetness, a little bit more texture, so the salad isn't just soft.
Absolutely, absolutely. All different types of textures, all different types of flavors. They really work well together. And for those of you who know me, you know I have just an undeniable love for cheese.
None of you can understand how much cheese
You have no idea.
Katie is into. It is unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. It's quite sad, actually. So what I have here is some Applewood smoked blue cheese. Put right over the top. And that's it. That's all she wrote for this fall salad.
What about that dressing, Katie?
Yes.
I know you have the mise en place there. I mean,
Oh,
sometimes
yes.
I know making that dressing can be a little bit intimidating, but is it how easy is it?
Okay, it's ridiculously easy. So you just have a shallot, roasted hopefully, that would go in the blender. Let's pretend this is a blender right now. Go directly into the blender, pulse it up a few times. Then you would add Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar, fresh sage. So that's going to be great for seasonality. So sage kind of screams fall to me. So what I would do is go very light on the sage, and if you need to add more, just pulse it up in there, and then just drizzle your olive oil along with some honey in there, and you're good to go.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Are you guys all ready to try both of these?
Nice.
All right.
Looks like you might be trying it right now.
We've got a whole bunch coming out of the interactive kitchen. That is Squash It.
We squashed it,
Did we
Foster.
squash it?
I think we officially squashed it.
I think we did.
I
High
think
five.
so. High five to that, buddy.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, and please make sure you enjoy some great samples.
Great job, Foster, Deadman, and Katie Bulger, or Bulger.